Okay, let's come back to our two trees in the garden again and draw the trees. We have the tree, the knowledge, good and evil. Good is on this side, evil is on that side. We have another tree, tree of life. God speaking to Adam and Eve, people, right? God speaks to Adam and Eve and says, "You're free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat of it, you will surely die." In the last video, we were talking about what death means. Death is moving from a place of union to a place of separation. There's one strand, there's the other strand. That's what death looks like. So if death is moving from union to separation, that's what death looks like. So okay, what does life look like? Well, this is what life is. Life equals union. That makes sense, doesn't it? So the tree of life is not really a tree. It's a construct. It's a constructive, not as very bad union. It's a construct of union. God is one strand. Man is another strand. And those two strands are brought together in a relational construct of union. That's what life really is. This is life. That's what life looks like. So when Adam and Eve fall, when they disobey God and they do eat from this tree, it's life. It's this tree right here that God bans and says, okay, no longer do you have access to this. Meaning, no longer can you live out of this relationship of union. Now you're going to have to live out of a relationship of separation, what we're seeing up here. So man is on his own now, to live on his own. And God intended man, let's just draw a picture of a man like this. Man is made in the image of God. It's called the Imago Dei. And so we might draw a person as they got a smiley face on the inside of them. Why? Because they're made in the image of God. But they also have now, because of what happened with Adam, let's put this as yellow. They also have a frustration face. We're both. We're a mixture. We got a smiley face on the inside of us because we're made in the image of God. But we also have a frustration face because we are of the lineage of Adam. Remember, this is Adam. And Adam is a person, but Adam is also a construct. Everyone who follows after Adam will be the same as Adam after he falls, which means we will be mixed like this. We will operate in a relationship with God in separation instead of union, which is what God has intended for us. And this is basically the underlying current of the Old Testament up until the time that we get into the New Testament. Because what happens in the New Testament is Jesus appears, and when Jesus appears, the Bible talks about him as being the second man. And in Romans chapter 5, in verse 14, I believe it is, it talks about Adam as being a pattern of the one to come. What does it mean that Adam is a pattern of the one to come? It means that there's going to be another person. Let's make this person, let's make him green because he's life. There's going to be another person who's going to show up. He also, I'm going to make him with hands up, he also, this is Jesus, is going to be a pattern, a construct. So while the yellow is Adam, Jesus steps up, and in stepping up, he reaches back all the way to this Garden of Eden construct here. And he undoes the damage. In other words, this tree of life is now reestablished. Access to the tree of life, the way God intended it to be all along. We now have access to it, and we see Jesus living out of a relationship of life, out of a relationship of union, and he lives the kind of life he lives because of his relationship of union with the Father. He's living on earth as a man, the way God intended man to live all along, because God's intention for man was to live out of that relationship of union. Jesus comes to reestablish that. So, as Adam is a construct of man like this, all of us find ourselves having to deal with this remnant of Adam, and this frowny face is this remnant of Adam that we have all inherited. It's part of us. This garden construct is not just a garden construct like a garden where you plant seeds, but it really is a reality on which undergirds every single one of our lives. Each person, let me put it up here, I'm going to abbreviate, each person has their own garden construct. What do I mean by that? Each one of us knows what it means to try to live based on the knowledge of good and evil. We inherited that from Adam. We've developed patterns of living based upon that tree. Each one of us has the possibility of abandoning this tree and moving over to the tree of life and living our lives based on this tree of life which God intended. So each person has their own garden construct. It's not just a garden back in Eden. It is that, but it's more than that. It's a way of life. It's a way of sustenance that each one of us has to choose. This or this. Jesus came to reestablish that, reaching back into the garden and undoing the damage that was done, restoring it, and then moving forward to be a model of life the way God intended it to be all along. It's interesting. The word is peace. Jesus came and he used this word a lot. My peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. I do not give unto you as the world gives. What did Jesus mean when he used the word peace? Here's what he means. Peace is union. That's what peace is. Yes, going all the way back to the garden, reestablishing union so that we can live out of that relationship of union instead of separation. See you in the next video.